Right then guys, part two. Now let's first start with the date. 322 or 223. 322, as you can see, is the number of the Skull and Bones Society in America, where a lot of the top politicians are bred, such as George Bush. Okay, and if you use the gematria calculator, typing in the Synagogue of Satan, we get 223. So the Skull and Bones Society and the Synagogue of Satan in the gematria calculator equate to the date that this event occurred. Now let's take a look at the Book of Revelation. Okay, now the Synagogue of Satan, according to the Book of Revelation, will be ruling during the end times, and as you can see here, it says, Revelation 3:9, Behold, I will make them of the Synagogue of Satan, which say they are Jews, and are not, but do lie. Behold, I will make them to come and worship before thy feet, and to know that I have loved thee. Once again, just to reiterate, it is no coincidence that those numbers correlate to the date of this alleged event. Okay, so now working under the thesis that nothing that's put before us during these events is by chance, taking a couple of snippets that I found of this long term, and this as well later on. Again, this is no coincidence. Okay, now taking out the numerology calculator, P4, as you can see, is equivalent to 11, which is one of the master numbers. And long term equals 33. Okay, and another thing that was in the news that I noticed, it was on the BBC. Unfortunately, I didn't take a snippet of it, but this is what they showed. They showed this place, and the Brussels part was obscured by somebody's head, and they focused on it for a short while, and it didn't register exactly what it meant at the time. And as you can see, the big game, 33 numerology. Okay, now here's a screenshot of a few days previous to the actual alleged attacks of Abdul Salam being arrested. So knowing what we know, that these so-called attacks are actually hoaxes. If they're hoaxes, then this whole event here that we're looking at, this alleged arrest, most likely by a bunch of actors, we know is a setup. And that being the case, then it was a production. And if it was a production, then again, everything that's put in front of you is put in front of you for a reason. First of all, we'll take a look at the reg number here. And as you can see, DKN is 11, which is one of the master numbers. And if you move that on a little bit more, you've got the 22, so 1122, there's your 33. But what I really want to point out in this is the Batman versus Superman. Again, just to reiterate, knowing that we know it's all a hoax, nothing that's put in front of you is by chance. So let's take a look at Batman versus Superman.
Even you got too old to die young, not for lack of trying. He has the power to wipe out the entire human.
Okay, the power to wipe out the whole of the human race as we see fire and brimstone falling to earth, with inverted commas, Superman. Bear in mind again, this is all symbolic.
Maurice, we believe there's even a 1% chance that he is our enemy. We have to take
Adulation of the Superman.
this as an absolute certainty. The greatest gladiator match in the history of the world. God versus man.
Of course, we know God is not Superman, but again, it's symbolism. God versus man.
Day versus night.
Day versus night, or light versus darkness.
You're sick on it. It's a three-syllable word for any thought too big for little minds. Not now if you weren't like you. I don't think you've ever known anyone like me. You know the oldest lie in America? It's that power can be innocent.
And they think they can win. Okay, so these are the two alleged suicide bombers in the alleged Brussels attacks. And we're going to concentrate and have a closer look at the name. And we're going to do that by having a look at the Hebrew names of gods. And if you notice, El is the constructs given for the gods. El comes from a root word meaning might, strength and power. Okay, God. Basic form, El. One God. El Echad. Faithful God, El. The God of truth, El. The righteous God, El. The all-sufficient God, El. You get the point, right? Most High God, El. Everlasting God, El. God who sees me, El. El. All the way through. So El basically is a construct for a god in every sense of the word. Okay, so that's the El. Now let's take a look at the other part of the name, Bakra. So I found three meanings for the word Bakra in the Urban Dictionary. First one, slave master and oppressor. Second one, a male goat. Right, so here we have Baphomet, the satanic androgynous goat deity. There's your goat head. And the third meaning of Bakra, devil. So we basically have devil god. And for those that don't believe it, yes, devil god. Okay, so moving on, I'm sure you're fully aware that Starbucks is mentioned a lot of times, not only in this hoax, but in many others. So let's try and find out why that is. I've been seeing online that a lot of people have been theorising that it might be a potential alleged terrorist attack in the future at a Starbucks. It's possible. It's possible. But I'm going to oversimplify this. And this is what I feel is happening. Obviously running alongside with what we've already spoken about. So what is the meaning of buck? Well, here we go. The male of some horned animals. The male of some horned animals. So that's the buck sorted, and it's obviously plural, bucks, so you've got males with horned animals, and the word star. Horned animals from the stars. They're telling you who's responsible. Okay, so what we're going to do now is run through a few articles that are found online again, all specifically pointing us towards a certain narrative. Now, bearing in mind that we're fully aware that this thing was a hoax, then we also have to assume that it was all scripted. So it's going to be scripted in a certain way. And why is it going to be scripted in that way, and what points are they specifically trying to make? And it's not about the alleged amount of deaths and so on. It's about the narrative and the story that they're telling you. So here's what I'm seeing. Over and over again we're seeing this. And of course we've got this. And it was like the apocalypse. And we also have this from an actress I haven't heard of. Again, the ceiling fell down right beside me. And this was atrocious. The ceilings collapsed. It was a war scene. And of course this, the ceiling was falling in. There was debris falling all around us. General panic. To protect us from the falling ceiling.
An explosion and all the ceilings is going down.
And of course pictures like this suggesting that the ceiling collapsed.
So, you felt the explosion? Yeah, I feel it, and I put that on my feet and that's on my side.
And we could smell burning, and lots of the ceiling was falling down. It was just total confusion.
We were in duty free, they were in the sunglass shop.
So let's take a quick look at Job 37:18. Hast thou with him spread out the sky, which is strong, and as a molten looking glass. So let's recap what we've learned. We've learned that the Luciferian Masonic Order has been leaving their calling card, the number 33. We've also learned that there's a war between the light and the dark, that the horned devil gods are responsible, that we're being told that the ceilings are going to collapse, and it's all part of the big game. And then if you fail to grasp this, you are going down long term. Alright, so let's put all this together with what we learned in part 1, with the number 34, number 14, and the St. Pancras station. So here's what I found out about St. Pancras. St. Pancras was a Roman citizen who converted to Christianity and was beheaded for his faith at the age of 14, around the year 304 AD. Do you understand? They're telling us this is going to come soon. St. Pancras was a Roman citizen who converted to Christianity and was beheaded for his faith at the age of 14 in the year 304. Okay, I'll leave you with this symbolic news article from February 22nd this year.
In the meantime, a lot of people are talking about this story today. An SUV in Memphis completely consumed by flames. In fact, the only item in that vehicle not singed by the fire, a copy of the Bible.
Take a look. A Bible that was in the front seat of an SUV during a fiery crash was not damaged. Wow. This happened Sunday in Memphis, Tennessee. A driver sideswiped a man in a Jeep, causing him to lose control and crash. His Jeep burst into flames. When Good Samaritans, even a canine officer, rushed to the rescue. Amazingly, a Bible that was in the front seat was the only item that police were able to recover.
The only thing that didn't get burned was the Bible. Do you understand?